Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
The thing about yesterday's revelation that really shocked me is basically it looks like the FBI was conducting this investigation for the purpose of giving immunity.
Well, exactly, because it's one thing to learn that the president and Hillary are corrupt, fine, but to think the Justice Department is corrupt, that is a big deal.
Well, and they conveniently leave out the FBI cannot grant immunity. They have to get approval from the Justice Department.
5 people around her have been given immunity, to include her former chief of staff. When you are given immunity, that means that you've probably committed a crime.
Live from an undisclosed location.
But Hillary says things like, the kinds of rhetoric and language Mr. Trump used is giving aid and comfort to our adversaries. That's what she said. But that doesn't really tell you how he's going to stop the attacks. She just seems to lecture us on how to be a better person.
Unchained and unstoppable.
Well, all that we're asking is that if Donald Trump lies, that it's pointed out. It's unfair to ask for Hillary both to play traffic cop with Trump, make sure that his lies are corrected, and also to present her vision for what she wants to do for the American people.
But isn't that what a debater is supposed to do?
Well, I think Donald Trump's special.
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
2012 first Obama-Romney debate was 67 million viewers. I'm expecting 85 million. Some people, it's smarter than me in the TV industry, think 100 million viewers. The only competition tonight is Monday Night Football. And even ESPN is saying, go ahead, watch the debate. Just watch football on your phone. You know, even they know this is the night, this is the show everyone's watching.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Welcome to the Howie Carr Show. I'm Howie Carr. If you'd like to join us, the toll-free number is 1-844-500-4242, 1-844-500-4242. It's Monday afternoon, so we'll be joined at the bottom of the hour by Ann Coulter. And in the meantime, though, I just wanted to go over it's debate night, as you know, 9 o'clock Eastern time. You can watch it or anywhere on any channel. You can listen to it anywhere. You can listen to it, watch it on your phone. And the mainstream media is getting ready to try to soften up Donald Trump. You know, the interesting thing here is that everybody's going to be watching this debate, or it's probably going to be, you know, not everybody. Grace, our producer, she's going to be watching The Voice, right? I know somebody said to everybody the only competition is Monday Night Football. That's not true. You know, if you're a young woman, it's probably The Voice. You know, I don't know what The Voice is. I just, some people say, if NBC, if you don't have NBC on your cable, you'll miss The Voice.
No, I decided against it, Howie. I'm going to DVR The Voice, and this is my plan because The Voice is on Monday and Tuesday. I'll DVR The Voice. I'll watch an episode tomorrow and an episode Wednesday, and I'll watch a little bit of the debate tonight.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Grace. Thanks for what a concession you've made. You're a real trooper.
Yeah, I'm going to power through the debate. I'm going to be sad about missing The Voice, but, you know, it's for my country.
What about the Saints and the Falcons, too? I mean, there's a meaningless game for you.
Oh, no, there's a better chance of me watching the debates than that.
Yeah. They always say, you know, the NBC's got a lot of great shows. They got Jimmy Fallon. Oh, whoop-de-doo. They got The Voice. Never heard of The Voice. And then they got Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, that's it. That's the only thing that NBC has. Okay. Anyway, so this is the mainstream media, though, is going berserk here. They're trying to protect Hillary Clinton. Nate Silver, the guy who, the aggregator who runs all these polls. I shouldn't even be saying this. He's back and forth, but he had Donald Trump only having, I think, a 10% chance to win the election, maybe less than that a month ago. It's now up to 54-point-something% of the vote. The betting money is still on Hillary, but Nate Silver, who follows the polls and the focus groups, et cetera, gives Trump over a 50% chance to prevail on November the 8th. And I think the mainstream media is very worried about this. 2 headlines. These are headlines today. New York Times. Why Donald Trump should not be president. Washington Post. It's beyond debate that Donald Trump is unfit to be president. It's beyond debate? And then they all had the same story this weekend, in case you didn't know it. But first, I guess I should mention the story that's in the New York Times today. Did you know that the economy is booming? It is. That's what the New York on the.
Happy days are here again. The skies above are here again. Let us sing.
Every man a king. There's only one way to keep this economy moving again, and that's to elect Hillary Clinton, because she's done such a wonderful job. She's created so many jobs. She's done such a bang-up job in foreign affairs, et cetera, et cetera. So the New York Times runs a story above the fold on the hours before the debate, and says that the economy is great. But yesterday they said why Donald Trump should not be president, and so they all came to the same conclusion simultaneously. The first story of the weekend was about Donald Trump lying. That's the whole point. Donald Trump lies. So now you have to vote for Hillary Clinton, who was named after Sir Edmund Hillary. Even though no one had ever heard of Sir Edmund Hillary when she was born. He didn't climb Mount Everest until, I think, 1952. But she was named after him in 1947 because her parents, living in Chicago, apparently knew that he was going to climb Mount Everest and become this famous guy. And of course, she's been under fire. She's been in combat. She survived sniper fire in Tuzla. You know, remember that? That was she tried to join the Marines. She made $100,000 on cattle futures back in the 1970s in Arkansas because she read the commodities column in the Wall Street Journal. So she never lies. You could trust Hillary Clinton. She's not like the others. So all these papers came out. Politico on the website, the Washington Post, the LA Times, the New York Times, they all came out with the exact same story about what a liar Donald Trump is. This is from CNN. Several of the editors who were involved said the timing was a coincidence, but there was clearly a desire to publish stories before Monday's debate when Trump and Clinton's truthfulness will surely be an issue. Never in modern presidential politics has a major candidate made false statements as routinely as Trump has, the LA Times declared. There was a great piece over the weekend. Some guy found it, PolyFact. That's one of these
You mean PolitiFact?
PolitiFact, that's it. I'm sorry, I was getting it confused with Polydent, which is to glue your dentures to your gums. Excuse me. I think it's probably more like Polydent than it is like a fact-checking organization. But PolitiFact. So they fact-checked the claim during the primary season. Bernie Sanders said that there was 51% unemployment among the young black male demographic in the population. 51% unemployment. PolitiFact said, mostly true. So Donald Trump said a week or two ago, unemployment among young black males is 59%. PolitiFact weighed in again. Totally false and untrue. Just, again, everything's on the level. The mainstream media, they wouldn't lie to you, They've taken an oath. So the LA Times, never in modern presidential politics has a major candidate made false statements as routinely as Trump has. And Politico, the conclusion is inescapable. Trump's mishandling of facts and propensity for exaggeration so greatly exceed Clinton's as to make the comparison almost ludicrous. So this is what, in military terms, this is what's called softening the field. This is like an artillery barrage. You're preparing the ground for the charge, for the assault. The tanks follow in behind, and so Lester Holt is going to be the point man here tonight. He's going to be the guy with the fixed bayonets going in after Donald Trump. So the Washington Post did not label any of Trump's falsehoods as lies in its story, but the other three news outlets did. So you have, and all these people, they all come from this little group too, from a little pond. You know, like the editor of the Washington Post is Marty Barron, who used to work at the Boston Globe. And the woman at the New York Times, the political editor who's in charge of all this coverage and claiming that Trump is a liar, guess where she used to work? She used to work at the Boston Herald. I know Carolyn Ryan.
So it's just further evidence that everything bad in American politics somehow gets back to Boston.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, going back to the Kennedys and even beyond the Kennedys, back to the days of Honey Fitz, JFK's grandfather. So, but of course, Hillary Clinton never lies. And here I hold in my hand now the response from the Trump campaign here. And Clinton claimed the attack. I can't even go through all these. I just highlighted a few of them that seemed more apropos. I didn't want to get down into the weeds. Clinton claimed the attack in Benghazi was the spontaneous result of protests stemming from a YouTube video. Clinton has publicly touted the Russian reset while privately admitting it was a failure. Clinton has tried to rewrite the history of her policy towards Syria. Well, she's not the only one. How about John Kerry? He's done the same thing. John Kerry said Bashar Assad was a great reformer, and now he says he's a war criminal. Clinton falsely claimed that emails from Sidney Blumenthal were unsolicited when, in fact, Clinton treated him as a secret off-the-books advisor. And this is another thing, too. They're saying Donald Trump lied about saying that Hillary Clinton started the rumors about Barack Obama being born in Kenya. Well, now we have multiple sources from the left side of the political spectrum saying that Sidney Blumenthal, her dirty tricks operative, you might say, her G. Gordon Liddy, I'm going way back in time to the Nixon administration, and where's he from? Where's he from, Steve? He's from Boston.
Yeah, I think someplace in Massachusetts.
I know him, too. I know all of these people. So, Sidney...
Is that really something you want to brag about, though, knowing Sid Blumenthal?
I still remember getting a call from him in my kitchen in Somerville, and after he said, "Let's stay in touch, Howie." And afterwards, I hung up the phone, and I thought, I think I need a shower. That's the kind of guy he is. He kind of talks like this.
Well, you can tell the health of the tree by its fruit, and his son Max is just an outstanding individual.
Yeah, he's a Semitic anti-Semite. That's all. That's high praise. Yeah, he's Jewish, and he really hates Jews, as far as I can judge from his writing. I mean, I'm sure he would deny that, but that's the reality. But Sidney Blumenthal was spreading the rumor around that Barack Obama was not a natural-born citizen, that he was born in Kenya. And, of course, I don't blame the Clintons or Sidney Blumenthal for spreading the rumor, because it was on, and we've mentioned this millions of times now at this point, it was on Barack Obama's own sell sheet when he was trying to peddle his book to publishers. He said they said he was they made him out as this exotic creature who was raised in Hawaii by his grandmother and half white, half Kenyan, born in Kenya. It wasn't. I mean, I don't blame the Clintons for going to bat for it, but just don't lie about it now and try to blame it on somebody else when you were running with what appeared to be a credible rumor. This hour of the Howie Carr Show is brought to you in part by Perfect Smiles. Don't be fooled by imposters with similar names. Go to Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. That's perfectsmiles.com. We'll be right back with your phone calls in just a moment at 1-844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
He didn't come here to be made sport of. Howie Carr.